outset, allow me to convey Indonesia's sincere appreciation to India for convening this important meeting at such a pivotal moment for the world. As Indonesia enters its second year as a member of BRICS, we do so with renewed conviction in the value of this forum, and we reaffirm our commitment to BRICS founding principles, which is sovereign equality, mutual support, and inclusiveness. The world today, as mentioned by the previous colleagues, stands at a critical juncture where conflicts, geopolitical rivalries, and rapidly evolving challenges have exposed a global system that is in urgent need of reform. Unilateral actions and selective application of international law have further deepened mistrust and widened imbalances in global governance. These are not just risks, they carry profound human consequences. In Lebanon, 4 Indonesian peacekeepers serving under UNIFIL have lost their lives in the line of duty, while several others have been injured. We honor their sacrifice, stand with their families, and call for full accountability. The safety and security of United Nations peacekeepers are non-negotiable. In the broader Middle East, instability persists because of unresolved injustice. Lasting peace cannot be achieved without justice for the Palestinian people, and there can be no justice without the realization of their legitimate right to an independent and sovereign state. Indonesia therefore continues to stand firmly for the two-state solution in accordance with international law and relevant UN resolutions. Excellencies, we live in a time when those who build the international order are also contributing to its disorder. As a rising force of the Global South, BRICS has both the standing and the responsibility to take a more active role in safeguarding peace and preserving the rules that sustain global stability. And this begins with championing international law fairly, consistently, and with double standards. No country is above the law, and this means safeguarding the International Court of Justice from selective enforcement and political interference, and empowering the UN Security Council to carry out its mandate effectively. It also requires meaningful reform of global governance, including greater representation of Global South within the UN Security Council, so that international institutions better reflect today's geopolitical realities. And the same principle applies to the global economy, where a multilateral trading system is increasingly undermined by unilateral protectionist measures and disproportionate use of tariffs, which disrupt global supply chains and constraining inclusive growth. BRICS therefore has an important role to play in defending a fair, open, and non-discriminatory trading system with the WTO at its core. I wish to also highlight the simple reality that the cost of war is ultimately the cost of lost opportunity. Trillions of dollars have been spent on conflict and destruction, while reconstruction in affected regions at hundreds of billions more. And this situation is not inevitable. It is the predictable results of choice that favor force over diplomacy. The choice between war and development is therefore not only a moral imperative, it is a strategic one. As President Prabowo reminded fellow leaders at the ASEAN Summit in Cebu last week, the developments in the Middle East demonstrate how geopolitical ambitions and rivalries, when left unchecked, lead only to destruction. And we must not allow ourselves to be drawn by the current rivalries and confrontation. This is the spirit that guides Indonesia's engagement in BRICS. With our collective weight comes a collective responsibility to become part of the solution, not part of the polarization. And Indonesia stands ready, together with fellow BRICS